Hey everybody, Adam McLean here. I want to invite you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific to watch San Diego State versus BYU in college basketball tomorrow. It is the game of the year. By all accounts, there's not going to be a better or more exciting game in college basketball this year. And the reason I want to invite you to do that, and I know I've got a lot of people who are kind of looking at my blog and stuff going, I don't get the whole SDSU thing. Is it just because he lives there or what's going on there? So I wanted to provide you some context as to why you should watch this at 2 p.m. Pacific tomorrow. That's 5 p.m. for you people on the East Coast who don't think that any good sports happen west of Pennsylvania. Okay, so here, let's zoom back the lens a little bit. Okay, now we've lived here for, it'll be 3 years in June that we've lived right by San Diego State, like it's in our neighborhood. And you have to understand this, that SDSU has always been a party school. It's a commuter school. It's where kids who don't quite want to go to one of the bigger name schools get into San Diego State. And it's always, the interesting thing is, even though it's been kind of known as a party school, and even though it really is a commuter school because there's like 30,000 students or something like that, and not very many people live on campus, it is kind of a wonderful academic institution. It wins all sorts of awards as far as academics go, and SDSU alumni, especially in Southern California, are really everywhere. There's a whole lot of them. At the same time, athletics has really never been huge, at least in recent history. I guess 20, 30 years ago, there was a big, SDSU football was the thing in town. But for a long time, SDSU sports have been, nothing. Even in a town that's like the 10th largest city in America, and college sports have not been a big deal. So you put on top of that, so you have like sports haven't been very good, and then you put on top of the other side, it's kind of a party school, and you get the idea that the campus feel would be more party and less academic, less pride, and things like that. Now, when we moved here, I grew up around Notre Dame, a campus that really has probably too much pride in itself, but at the same time has a very proud atmosphere, and people, they love going to Notre Dame and they're proud of it. They wear the shirts everywhere, and I started noticing that the kids weren't wearing the shirts when they went to school. And I noticed that they were proud more about the parties they went to and the frats and sororities that they were part of than the fact that they went to SDSU. And I kept thinking that was kind of jacked up. But I want to tell you that we've seen a transformation in the last 2 years, and it's the power of winning. No matter what organization that you are a part of, define what a win is and do it, okay? Because people are very excited about a winner. It started, I think, in basketball's been pretty good for the last 5 or 6 years. They've had 5 20-win seasons in a row, but really nobody's noticed. They never even got ranked, even though they almost won the NIT tournament a couple of years back. But the football really turned things. They went from a horrible team 3 years ago to winning a few games 2 years ago, I think 4. That was my first year as a season ticket holder. And then last year they won 9 games, including just a decimation of Navy in the Poinsettia Bowl. But the basketball team this year, everybody knew was going to be even better than last year because all the team was 1 year older. They didn't really lose a whole lot of talent, and all these kids were just fantastic on the basketball court. They started the season ranked 25, and they've slowly won their way up. And as they've continued winning, the city of San Diego has gotten more and more and more excited. So right now, they're 27-1. They have the best record in college basketball. Outside of the Harlem Globetrotters, they have the best record in all of basketball. Okay, so they're a phenomenal team to watch. They're super fun. They're not cocky. They're not a bunch of jerks. But the other thing I want you to notice as you watch the game tomorrow, because now I think I've convinced you, the thing I want you to notice is that the transformation that's happened athletically has been phenomenal. For years, San Diego State was always known as a team that would be in a game, maybe even competitive enough to win, but lost in the last minute. You're going to see that this has changed. And it's changed a couple ways. I really feel like I saw the turning point at a home football game this season when they played Air Force, who was ranked nationally. And they were kind of this up-and-coming team. I think they had 4 wins. They were 4-0. And they were in the game the whole game. But Air Force fought back and took the lead with like a minute or 2 minutes left. Everybody in the crowd, there were 30,000 people there, were just like, oh, SDSU did what SDSU does. They lost it in the last minute, and we were really disappointed. They had already lost a game in the last minute. And so you could just feel the air leave the stadium. But the team didn't notice, and the team grabbed the ball, and they marched it down the field. They scored, and they won the game. And then they have this Aztec shield thing, and they took it in front of their season ticket holders who have been there for generations, it seems like, and held it up and just chanted that they were the winners. And I think that was a turning point for the football program, and it feels like it was a turning point for the whole city as they looked at SDSU's sports. So that's what I want you to notice. I'm gonna show you a clip here about what happened at a basketball game. It looked like that was going to happen a few games ago when they were playing TCU, and Paul and I were there, and we were sitting next to the student section, which is completely fun and hilarious, and they'll show it on CBS Sports a lot, because they're just a lot of other teams have said this is the best student section they've ever seen, including places like Duke and Ohio State and some of these other places that are very well known for their student sections. You're going to see a timeout. And I'll show you this clip here that TCU had fought all the way back, and there was like a minute or two in the game, and they had taken the lead, and Steve Fisher called a timeout. And this clip is what happened in the crowd spontaneously as they chanted their little victory chant that they start this game. Now, that victory chant that I just showed you, it's basically they're starting with one word at a time saying I, and the crowd goes I believe, so on and so forth. And the chant is, I believe that we will win. And then that's what you see is those kids bouncing up and down saying, I believe that we will win. It's been phenomenal. So I wanted to give you the context as far as why I'm excited. I'm excited because I've seen what winning can do in a community. All of a sudden, as I walk through campus, I'm on campus almost every day going to work. That's where my trolley station is. Seeing this transformation where almost every student is wearing something to do with SDSU every single day. And they're very proud of their school. And I'm sure that there's still parties going on, but that's not the talk of campus anymore. The talk of campus now is, right now it's basketball, but it's just, there's a different feel there. And it's exciting. And so I want to invite you into being a part of that. This is one of the things that I've learned, is that sometimes just winning is enough to transform a community.